But we're going to start today with a subject that can send chills down anyone's spine these days: the electric bill. The state's Public Service Commission says if you're a customer of National Grid or NYSEG, you could eventually be paying even more. Even as Governor Hochul says that she is trying to offset the increase with an assistance in her proposed state budget. We're joined now by Most Buffalo's Ron Plants for more on what is going on here, Ron.
A lot going on. This is tied to the state's Climate Action Council plan to reduce emissions by pushing towards eventually all electric households beyond the year 2030, with no replacements allowed for fossil fuel furnaces and other devices when they wear out. We've told you about this. In order to meet its climate goals, the state pushing to make 70% of the state's power production from renewable sources like those wind turbines, solar arrays, and hydropower by 2030, and 100% by 2040. So to hook up all the new and planned renewable energy producers, especially in upstate areas, the State Public Service Commission voting 2 weeks ago for a $4.4 billion upgrade of these power transmission lines for National Grid, NYSEG, and an Albany area utility, which would be paid for by the ratepayers, according to those public service commissioners. So yesterday, we asked the governor directly, even as some commissioners say there's lots of uncertainty for all these costs.
The numbers are not clearly known right now because we're not.
It was approved, Governor, by the PSC.
We're not in that transition point right now, and it doesn't consider the offsets that I'm offering from the state government to reduce the burden on our ratepayers. And I think that's what's missing in the telling of this story, simply looking at numbers without understanding that we're working to get an offset from the state in this transition period.
$4.4 billion is where we're going with what's before us today. What remains unknown is where we'll be and where we'll end up in the future. And nevertheless, this is the path that we have chosen.
Some state lawmakers have said these climate action goals are proposals, but the State Public Service Commission says these are mandates required by the legislature when it approved the 2019 New York Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act back then, which the state says is one of the most ambitious climate laws in the country. Now, the governor's suggested offsets are in her state budget plan, which lawmakers are now considering and would have to approve. However, those PSC commissioners say the state legislature has not so far provided any funding for these power line upgrades. We're going to have more on this coming up at 6. Ron Plants, Channel 2 News.